Hey there, it's Sunday afternoon in Grants Pass, Oregon. We sure could use some sun, huh? I'm just gonna put it to you straight, mate. You know what putting it to you straight is, right? That means speaking through your heart, the mind of the heart, the powerful neurotransmitters. So one of the things, of course, I knew this in childhood because all you got to do is read what different minds are doing in the field of science, right, technology and all that. You begin to realize this is sort of how I figured it when I was a child, when I pictured it in my mind, which was like having children. Remember that when I was growing up in the neighborhood, the mothers of all the children where I lived had sort of a way in which they measure other children in other families. And so because I could hear this, and I hear mothers say these words. So I became aware of how mothers measure children. And it's called the nature of their spirit. That's a good-natured boy. That's a good-natured girl. Good-natured. Nature as in natural law, as in first law, as in first son, as in first love, as in first creator. Right? So when you already are scaled up in realizing, when I look at the human anatomy and the physiology and the level of creative intelligence that went into building the DNA assembly that I'm using to communicate with you with, you begin to realize the level of intelligence of the girl that has the intelligence and the creativity to put together with her intelligence and creativity something that I'm using to communicate with you with. Now, as a child, I call that a baseline. Okay, that's a frame of reference of where you sit on the tree of evolution, on the tree of life. So ask yourself, would you want to become something less than what a goddess who's that intelligent, who's that creative, to be creating something or putting something in the environment that you're exposed to that changes you from what you are that was created as a uniform, as a vehicle to express yourself in, that they're going to change by changing the gene drive of the information that is represented by the software, which is the DNA that you're running? You want somebody who's 6 foot tall, sitting in a genetics lab, working for Baylor University, coming up with ways in which it can fuck with your chromosomes and your genetic expressions? Really? If the level of intelligence in my frame of reference is anything less than a goddess, I don't want nothing to do with them. And I certainly do not want any of them doing anything that's going to fuck with what a goddess created. That's why I said as a child, quit fucking with my goddess. Or fucking with her creations. That's what they do. That's what demons do. And this is where we get into the importance of what we measure in intelligence, creativity, and imagination, and the speed at which you're experiencing who you are by virtue of what you do with that energy. If your mind's energy is running a high-speed neurotransmitter, then I would probably assume that the energy that you're using to experience who you are, that you want to investigate and self-discover those things that are going to benefit humanity, then chances are you're going to be able to know the result of that because you're running at such a high speed. Which means you're not going to do anything that does any harm to anybody because you have the knowledge in knowing that. Like she does. So if you're not at a goddess level of creation or a god level of creation with the light, because you have the female creative side within you in which to do it with, because that's what I have, is the fact that I have both a male and a female link. Both hemispheres of my brain are completely merged as one. But I use my heart's neurotransmitters as the power center to spin the Merkaba and use both sides. The heart has the ability to control what it is you experience that they can't hack. When you've learned how to do that, they can't hack your brain. They can't hack your mind. They can't hack your software. That's the benefit of learning in the classroom through the girl whose classroom we're in, right? Yeah. That's why it was set up as a healing center. Because when you came in here with Gaia, which is the goddess of health and wellness, we can measure the feedback of what we experience as a result of what we don't know, which is how to keep ourselves purified in spirit, purified in the energy field, right? So we have knowledge on how to do that. That's what we share with others in love and service to others. They don't do that. I would suggest for those that are unfamiliar with how this works, go to Know Thy Enemy, and Thomas explains simply how it does. If you're up on the genetic engineering and know how software programming works, then you might want to go to the NCBI, the National Center for Biotechnology Information, and you can see what all these Frankensteins are working on, including Project Ascension, particularly the video called SOHO, Triple Spiral DNA, Karen McDonald, Patty Broussard, Andrew Mallet, and a few others on that particular video go through a lot of this. And then there's another one on genetics that Patty covers with Karen and Luke McDonald, and you gain an enormous amount of knowledge. That allows you to empower yourself because knowledge is power. And you gain more knowledge by experiencing more of it by running a higher speed Merkaba, which is learning how light works. Right? Yeah. So it's starting to rain out here, but this is important because I love and care about you. And I realize that because of the differences in the density consciousness, if you will, or what I'm aware of and what others are not aware of, it's simply a lack of what's held within that light that you are aware of. So we share with others what we're aware of because we defend and protect this realm so that you're not experiencing pain and suffering all the time because we love you. So we know how to restore you. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what I do with my time. I got to restore me a lot of the time. So since I know how to do that with me, I help share that information with others. Then they can become a self-sustaining autonomous unit. Man, I love going faster now. Yeah, of course. Get back to being 4 years of age again. Here's a box of crayons. Go hit the streets. Show us what you can create with your conscious creative imagination. Man, now you're moving at a high rate of speed. You're not experiencing anything feeding on what you create. Yeah. Bang! Out another star, another universe, another galaxy. And you can experience all that light through your heart that is in that galaxy. And then another galaxy that is communicating with you through your heart. Right? Moving through the gates. Just like a spermatozoid going through the birth canal. Man, I want to create some more life. I want to be a part of everything that is in that light. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.